Yo, what's going on? It is 1 p.m. here in Crystal Lake, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Thursday, October 30th, 2025, Mischief Night. For those of you who are apparently just from New Jersey, we're the only ones that call it that. Everyone else calls it something else. But it's the day before Halloween. And it also is New York Marathon weekend. So let's talk about some New York Marathon stuff. We'll go over the weather forecast. I'll make some predictions. I'm not feeling great about my predictions for this time. But yeah, we'll do that. And then I have a bunch of stuff to unbox today as well. We can go over that. We got a lot of shoes to add to the shoe sheet. So we got a busy schedule for today. Before we do that, let's say hi to everyone else listening on the audio-only version on the podcast. Hopefully you guys are having a good run out there today. The weather has been gorgeous here in Crystal Lake. And so that has been really nice. And hopefully you're enjoying similarly great weather. It's been like... I've been wearing half tights or shorts and a long sleeve, but it's probably more like t-shirt and shorts and thin gloves weather, in my opinion. But either way, some of my favorite running weather right now. Yeah, just really, really nice. And for everyone else that's watching this later but not live, welcome to the #1 Drive Time radio show for runners. Hopefully you are enjoying your carb loading as you're getting ready for the race this weekend. All right, let's see who we got in here in the chat. Will is here. He's hoping that the rain stops before Sunday. Will's still going to be out there cheering, but it would suck if it stays like this. We'll check on the weather in just a second, Will. Robert's here. Robert says, what's up, Mike? I got a new PR this past weekend at Marine Corps. Cut 8 minutes off my previous PR and ran 2:36:01. What? That's crazy, Robert. What? That's amazing. You ran you went from 2:44 to 2:36. That at Marine Corps with that uphill finish. That's wild. That's really, really wild. Plunder got a PR in Amsterdam, 14 minutes down to 3:24. He's chopped. Amazing. JC's gonna run celebrate a New York City Marathon day by running a half marathon in Dallas. Falling back 1 hour should help, and the weather is looking perfect. Nice. What's the weather like in Dallas this time of year? Interesting. Ogazy says, non-elite streamer, but no mic issues today. I double, triple checked. Here's the thing, guys. Something has been happening. So I told you guys that this happens to me on the relay podcast from time to time. I'll be using the microphone during the live stream, and then I'll go to the relay call right afterwards, and then the mic will stop working and it'll switch to something else. And and I have the audio issues I had yesterday. And I was like, what, am I just not being careful when I go enter the room, you know? But then, same thing happened yesterday. And the same thing has been happening on my calls that I have with my other work calls. And I think sometimes between when I enter, and I think I mentioned this yesterday, but between when I have it set up as I'm about to enter a room and when I enter the room, it switches or something happens and it defaults back to something else. And so that's what's going on. Anyway. Frank says the mic is haunted. I like that. That works. That makes sense to me. That makes more sense than any other thing that I've tried to explain. Tim Lofton says about the Dallas weather, says it'll be calm, clear, and cool. Great weather for racing around the lake. I've never been to Dallas. I want to run in Dallas. It sounds like it'd be fun. All right. And Robert explains about his Marine Corps marathon time. He says, I know it's not love, but my previous PR was at Revel Rockies. Running a normal course was so much easier than a downhill. For some people it is. My friend Ashley always says that. And like she says it with such fervor that I'm like, you're kind of overselling it. You know, you're trying to make it sound like we should get a bonus for running a downhill race, the way she explains it. But I'm like, not all people are built for downhill races. I'm very built for downhill races. I'm too built for downhill races, I think. But yeah, for some people it's harder, for sure. And Daniel Estrella says, I finally found out what that Costco run is that you post on Strava from the Valencia video. To give some context, every once in a while on Strava, I'll post a certain kind of run when I go to a certain place, and I just put Costco run on it. And I explained it in the Valencia video. And Daniel says, I thought you would run to Costco to meet your fam to do groceries. No, I go park at Costco. And then there's a running path that's by there that's really nice. And I run, and then I finish the run at the car. In the summertime, I would run with no shirt on, and then I would put a shirt on, and then go inside and do some grocery shopping and get some pizza. Yesterday, though, guys, a Costco first for me. Maybe not a first, but a Costco rarity. Yesterday, I went to Costco. I dropped my daughter off at Mathnasium, and I only have an hour, and I wanted to get something for dinner. And there's a grocery store across the street from Mathnasium, but they didn't have what I want there. So I was like, I'll just go to Costco because I know they have it there. So I was running low on time. I got to Costco during rush hour, got in, got what I needed, and then I looked at my watch, and I had time to stop for the pizza. But I decided to skip on the pizza because it was dinner time and I was about to go make dinner. But I feel like you can always squeeze in a slice of pizza. But, and I have not been eating enough lately. I feel like I'm under fueling for this marathon block. So I was like, you might as well. But then I was like, I don't know. Is more pizza always the answer? So I said no to it. And I just came and got my daughter and we went home and I made dinner. So I feel like I don't know, maybe that was unnecessary discipline, but I felt like I was disciplined there. So there's that. Richard Wilson is here and he says, yo, what's going on? I listened on Monday, but I was driving back from Javelina, so I couldn't comment. Richard says he came in just a bit after Tommy runs and said the dude closed in 630 miles. That is so wild. So Tommy ran, I knew Tommy was going to do this and he kind of shock dropped it on people. Maybe like the week before, I think is when he told people he was doing it. And I'm like, man, that's I was like so excited for him. I knew there's something he wanted to do and I knew he was going to do great. And he did. He finished in like 19 hours or something like that, right? That is such an incredibly fast time. That is so fast. 19 hours for like a regular person. I mean, I know like pros run Western states in like hours faster than that, but Tommy's not a pro runner, but he's a very strong runner, you know? And I just think that's amazing. And Shannon says, yay, hi, Co-Fam. To your OG fans, we absolutely love your long-form training vlogs. Never quit doing those. Well, I'm glad you guys like them. I'm really going to test you guys on it, though, because in the next, like, 2 weeks... So in like a total of like a 4-week period, we'll have like a 50-minute Valencia marathon training episode 1. I'm working on the Chicago weekend video, which isn't going to be that long. So it's not going to be terribly long. And then I'm going to have Valencia marathon training episode 2. And then I'm not sure of the exact order, but then I'm also going to have a video from France and Solomon. So that'll be like 4 narrative videos in like 4 weeks. That's a lot. I know I did a lot when I was traveling and doing all those trips with ASICs before the Paris Olympics. And those videos didn't do very well because there was too many. But we'll have to see if these are different types of videos. So maybe the variety will make them still perform okay. And Joe Mean says, hey, Capuzzi, O-Ball is good. I got a PR of 3:44.56 at Marine Corps Marathon. Was hoping for 3:30, but MCM was messy. Well, congratulations, 3:44. That is a great job. Great job. Awesome work. Was it raining at Marine Corps? What do you mean Marine Corps was messy? I don't remember. JC says, White Rock Lake is a great place to run in Dallas. Come on down, Mike. Maybe I will. It sounds nice. And Michael G says, I'm running my first half marathon this coming Sunday at 58 years old. Never too old to start running, right? Absolutely never too old. Awesome. Good luck to you, Michael. You have to let us know how it goes. Good luck to you. And Appa Lanes says, Giannis, Lanes, says, hey, I'm running a half at the Auckland Marathon this weekend. Can you help me decide between the Endorphin Pro 4 and the Mega Blast? Thanks. For a half marathon, Endorphin Pro 4 or the Mega Blast? I would probably go with the Endorphin Pro 4 because it feels more racery to me. The Mega Blast might be lighter. Is it? I'm not even sure. I got the shoe sheets up right now. Let's take a look at it. Let's look up. Mega Blast is 7.8 ounces. And the Endorphin Pro 4 is 7.8. The same weight. Oh my goodness. Can you guys see that? They are the same weight. 7.8 ounces, 222 grams. So the same weight. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like having the carbon fiber plate in there. Yeah. And then the upper feels a little bit more racy, to me. Not racy as in like risque, but like racy as in like for a race. So I think I would go with that. But the Mega Blast is going to be more comfortable. So I think that if that helps you decide at all. But I'm leaning towards Endorphin Pro 4 for the half. AJ agrees. EP4. Stevie76 says, my New York City Marathon prediction is that Matt Choi bandits the race by dressing up as Herm runs. Here's a funny thing, though. Matt just posted on Threads that a brand... He's not allowed to run. And he said that a brand reached out to him about running the New York City Marathon on one of their bibs, and he's like, I don't think you understand. No thanks. So people are still asking him to do that. So, all right. I don't know what's up with people. Benjamin David says, what's up, everyone? I'm excited / nervous for New York City. Why are you nervous, Benjamin? Says, this will be my 5th New York City. I'm scared because I've done it before and I know what's coming. Yeah, but you know what's coming, and you can prepare yourself for it, and you know that you've been able to get through it. Let's take a look at the weather while we're thinking about it now. And see what we got weather-wise. Let's do it like this. All right, so I took a peek at this a little bit earlier, and I think that it's going to be pretty good. So Sunday morning, the women step off at 8:30. Is that right? Something like that? 8:30. So let's say about like between 8 and 9 o'clock. Again, I don't know what these colors are because I'm colorblind, but I think the bottom one is dew point. The purple one, blue one feels like, and I think the top one is the temperature. So we're looking at like 50 degrees for the start, and let's say you're starting at like 11. And you're 55 degrees. If you're still running in at like 1 or 2, it's 60. That's as high as it's going to get. Through 4 o'clock, it's going to be 60 degrees. Humidity is going to be 50%. So it's going to be pretty comfortable. Let's look at the wind. The wind, let's see, Sunday. Yeah, it's not that windy. 8 miles per hour at most. I'm sure it gets gusty and through some of those urban canyons and stuff. But just tuck behind someone and you'll be fine. I feel like it's not going to be that windy. I think the big thing is it says it's going to be partly cloudy. And I think that's what's going to make the big difference in terms of whether it feels like perfect weather or just not hot weather. So I think based on what I'm seeing now, weather looks good for you guys in New York. So that's like one thing that you guys can kind of like take off of your list of worries. You know what I mean? So I think that's it. Chris Williams says, Co, are you coming to Houston in January? I'm currently planning on it. I guess it'll depend. This year I'd like to get actual media credentials. I'd like to be able to, I think I'd like to be able to get to the finish line. I'm not sure how I'm going to cover the race because usually I pick covering the half marathon and then, I'll go out and maybe I'll see a marathoner or two. I have a feeling this year there might be as many marathoners that I want to watch as half marathoners. So I'm not sure about how I want to do it, but um, last year, and I should be able to get media credentials, at least photo credentials, because I was able to get some for Chase when I worked with Chase Fleming last year. And so I'm thinking that should be fine. I don't know if they'll let me on like the photo bridge or not. But I'd like to be able to do like the press conference and then any post race interviews and stuff. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So if I could do that, then I think I'd probably go to watch it. You know. Mm. All right, Cosmic Final. Michael says about New York. Start list for the New York City 5K dash to the finish this Saturday looks great. Whitney Colati, Ellie St. Pierre, Parker Valby, Taylor Rowe, Alicia Monson, and more. Is Taylor Rowe a scratch? I was listening. I think she is. I was listening to CDS Mag today, and I think she said that Taylor Rowe is a scratch, which is a shame. I saw her race the 5K in Boston, and it's exciting to watch her race. I saw her race for the first time in Atlanta for the half marathon championships, and she can run. It's entertaining to watch her run. It's a bummer. But this year it's not a USATF 5K championship, right? Where is the USATF 5K championship then? If it's not this, I don't know. All right, Russell Ortolano says, I just got my Meta Oakley Vanguards. I went on a walk with them to get used to the buttons and going to do a run with them this weekend. Have you tried them out much? Thoughts? Yeah, so I ran with them yesterday. And I don't know if you were here, Russell, when I tried them on. They look goofy here in the studio. When I was in my running gear and I had a hat on and stuff like that, they look fine. They just look like, sunglasses. And they are a bit heavy, but balanced. So I could tell that there's a weight on my face, but it didn't feel like a heavy set of glasses, if that makes sense. I felt like the footage I got from it was decent. They didn't bounce, so they were able to stay on my face, at least for an easy run where I wasn't sweating too much. So I have to put in a real test on them soon too. The speakers I thought were terrible. I'll keep testing them, but I thought the speakers were they were weird. And I don't know if it's doing some sort of like automatic volume adjustment. Like when it got windy, it seemed to turn up the volume on the podcast I was listening to, which was weird. But then it didn't turn it back down after the wind like gust stopped. And so I constantly was adjusting the volume. So it was kind of weird. So I feel like so far my experience has been it's really janky. And the other weird thing is, the blades, like it looks like the lens goes all the way around, right? But it actually doesn't. And so there's hardware in what do they call them? The earpieces parts of it, right? And that part actually goes up really far up. And so your peripheral vision is blocked quite a bit in these, which is not what you would expect from blade style sunglasses. So I have a lot of thoughts on them. I'll keep using them to see maybe if that stuff kind of bothers me less over time. But so far, I've had some stuff I like about it and stuff I don't. Shana wants to know, did I actually get banned by the BAA? I did not get banned by the BAA. The BAA has actually never contacted me, even when I've wanted to be in communication with them. Like I've asked them before to get a license or permission to film on the course. Nothing. I've never asked them for media credentials. I've never wanted them. Maybe I should ask. They probably would not let me have them. But no, maybe I'll ask next time. See if I could do that. But yeah, BA has never responded to anything that I've done. It's like the opposite of ban. I've been given the cold shoulder. Let's see. Midlife Runners here. He says, okay, I gotta leave. I only got on YouTube to upload a video, but then I saw a live stream was on and I couldn't help myself. Best everyone running NYC. Well, good to see you. We'll have to go check out that video once we're done here. All right. Should we get to some, let's do some shoe sheet now from last week. Because last week we didn't add the stuff that was on there. We ran out of time, or I was not disciplined. So let's add some new shoes on here. I did take pictures of all the shoes that I took weights of, in case anyone doubts me. But let's see, where are they? Where are those pictures? Here we go. All right, so I did 1, 2, 3. I did, okay, 1, 2, 2 shoes, 3 shoes. All right, so first up, we've got the Hoka Rocket X3, and that's a road shoe 9. And then the other shoe we have is the Salomon Aero Blaze 3 Gerbil. All right, what do we do for surface? I guess gravel. Okay. And then the other shoe was the, wait, is that? Yeah. Okay. And then the last one was the New Balance Fresh Foam More V6. By the way, I ran in the Fresh Foam More V6 yesterday and today, and I'm happy to report that it's the More again. So I like it. I think it's interesting that it hasn't really moved too much to respond to, say, like either the Mag Max or the Super Blast or the Glycerin Max. But at least it's not kind of like awkwardly clunky like it was last year. Last year, it seemed like they tried to add a lot more stability to it, and it just felt very difficult for me to run in. This year, it just feels like a nice, big, cushy, comfy shoe again. It's super ugly. Maybe it's because I don't like gray shoes, but I think it looks gross, but it's very comfy to wear. And today and yesterday, I was very happy to have them on. All right. So with the Rocket X3, man, my phone like always closes itself super fast. All right. So Rocket X3 coming in at 7.3 ounces and 208 grams. So I feel like I'm going to say that's close to, is that Alpha Fly weight, maybe? The Salomon Aero Blaze Gravel 3, which I like, I think, almost more than the Aero Blaze, the road version. 10.2 ounces and 290 grams, so quite a bit more. And then the Fresh Foam More version 6 is the big boy of the bunch. 11.1 ounces, which doesn't sound super heavy, but 314 grams makes it sound like an absolute tank. And I mean, and it's heavy, and you'll feel it, when you wear it. But if you're reaching for a Fresh Foam More, then you know what you're getting. So it's not going to be too much of a surprise. All right, so let's see where those line up. The Rocket X3, 2 grams lighter than Alpha Phi 3. Nice. And lighter than the Cielo X1 2.0, but only by 2 grams. So, guys, you know what, though? So I ran in the Rocket X3 for my long run a couple days ago. That's why my legs are so wrecked, and I need the Fresh Foam More. But when I unboxed it, remember I was like, the Rocket X3 looks exactly like the Cielo X1 2.0. Did they just make 2 of the same shoe? They did not make 2 of the same shoe. They are very different shoes. I feel like the Rocket X3 has stayed very much a rocket, and at least now we can't blame like cheap materials because they put in premium materials in it. It's just built different, and I'm thinking it's a heel striker shoe. If you're a Metaspeed Edge person, if you're a Deviate Nitro Elite 3 person, if you're a Vaporfly person versus like an Alpha Fly, that this is the way that you should go. For me, it felt really awkward to run in this shoe. After like a certain speed, like it just like this just feels firm. It feels to me like when people would say they would run in the Vaporfly 4%, and they're like, I don't know if carbon does anything. Like those kinds of people. That's how I feel about the Rocket X3. So, yeah. Adam says, did you see that FOD had something like a 33-gram difference between the left and right on the Velocity Nitro 4? No way. 33 grams? Maybe you should weigh both and average. Is he sure about that? I mean, Andy's a big shoe. I think he's a size 14. So, like, does he have two of the same size shoe? That's the first thing that I would say. That's crazy. All right, I do have a bunch of shoes to talk about today. So we're gonna add some more to the shoe sheet, and so we'll weigh both just to see what they are. I'm not gonna keep track of both shoes though. That's just too much. Cosmic Pineapple Michael says Rocket X3 seems more stability oriented than the CLX 1 2.0. I agree. I mean that's what ends up kind of happening. People don't like it when I call their favorite racing shoe a heel striker shoe. So I've been saying it's like a little bit more stability oriented, or less unstable than the kinds of shoes that I normally like. That seems to not offend people as much, but the net is the same, I think, for a lot of people. But yeah. All right. Wait, let's keep looking at the sheet, because there's a couple more. Let's just see what these other ones we're weighing in at. That was a lot of mumbling by me. Sorry, guys. All right. Aeroblaze 3 Gravel. The Aeroblaze 3 Gravel is the same weight as a Prime X3 Strung. I mean, not exactly. It's 4 grams heavy. It's 4 grams heavier than a Prime X3 Strong. That's crazy. And then this big boy, the Fresh from War. Same weight as a Rabbit Dream Chaser. So, and the same as a Skyward X. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. Okay. I wouldn't have normally thought of comparing those two, but now that I'm thinking about it, that actually makes a lot of sense. Okay. All right. Vanessa Martinez says, I saw a guy on a reality TV show who had a size 7 right foot and a size 11 left foot. That seems impossible. Did something happen to it? Because some people have like a chondrome something itis problem, and then the collagen and stuff doesn't develop correctly, and then the bones are messed up. I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah, birth defects. Yeah, see that makes sense. Yeah, all right. Let's get to some of these packages for today. This first one is technically still under embargo, but I'm going to open it anyway because it's not under embargo. And if you're confused by that, so am I. So it's from Mizuno, and they were like, hey, these are under embargo until like a certain date, but if you want to talk about them, we've given you these shoes, and these are not the final names of them, but here are the names that you can use to talk about them if you're going to post about them on social media. And I'm like, okay, I understand. I understand everything except for the fact that you want me to talk about it on social media, and these are under embargo. But yesterday, I don't know if he made the video yesterday, but I saw the video yesterday. Eric Rad Dad Bod TV over on TikTok showed some of his. And like, was it Doctors Are Running? Showed a picture of theirs. So I'm like, all right, I guess I could show pictures of them. I'll show them to you guys. 3 shoes. Oh my goodness. So much data entry. That's what I see when I see new shoes now. So much data entry. But 3 pairs of shoes here. I can't show you this because these have the actual names of the shoes on them, but they want us to use some sort of other prototype name on it. Look at this though. Should I just leave this underneath here? Look how well it lights up my face when I have this here. See that? If it reflects just right, it like It's a nice bounce. Anyway, Louis says, you should have just told us they're under embargo. It makes it more interesting. All right, these are super secret shoes. You know, the brand wanted me to keep these under embargo, but I can't keep a secret from you guys, so I'm going to tell you guys what they are. All right, so I forget what they wanted us to call these, but there's 3 of them, and I don't know how we're going to name these in the shoe sheet, but look at this one. This is a wild shaped shoe. Like, look at the bottom of it. It's very wide, tapers in a little bit. It's got I'm assuming this is a glass fiber infused wave plate of some sort. It says Mizuno Japan Engineering. It's Mizuno NRZ XP. Mizuno NRZ Vista is coming next. With smooth speed assist. Look at the waviness on this though. It's really nice. It's very pretty. And it's very glossy on the bottom layer. I don't know if the bottom layer is actually different than the top layer or not. There's no spec sheets with this. But it's like they put on like a egg wash on the bottom. It's really glossy and tacky. Like a clean Rubbermaid kind of thing. And this looks like rubber, but it doesn't feel, it kind of feels like a plastic rather than a rubber. But I'm not sure if it's rubber or not. And then there's a little divot on the inside, which also has more waviness in it, which I don't know if you're going to see. There it is. Okay. That is one. And then this upper is nice and minimal. The material reminds me a lot of like almost like a Metaspeed style upper. And then Metaspeed style tongue. And then pretty floppy back here. So interesting. It does have Mizuno Racing on the insole. Shannon wants to know if it's grippy or slippy. I feel like it's going to be a little bit slippy. It doesn't feel grippy. But this shiny midsole part is grippy. I don't know. All right. So we'll get... maybe I should get that email out. Talk about what the shoes are called. Okay. They are called... They're all... okay. All right, they say they're all prototypes. Okay, so I'm supposed to use the word prototype. I can't officially tell you what they are until December 2nd. That's super annoying. Did I read that right? Yeah, December 2nd. But in the meantime, I can call them prototype. And this is prototype pro. Is what I could say. That's one. All right, let's do this next one is Prototype Pure. It's also using Mizuno NRZ XP, and it says smooth speed plate. And you could see it a little bit on this side. And it says again, Mizuno Japan Engineering. This part, again, there's like a sticky part on the top, but it looks like it's just like it may even just be a clear sticker on this one. And this foam just feels like a supercritical foam. And then the insole has nothing on the inside, but it doesn't say Mizuno Racing. And the material is similar to the material in the upper of the other one. I don't know that it's exactly the same, but it's similar. Also very light. And then this last one is called Prototype. It's not really called Prototype, but we'll call it Prototype Elite. So we have Pure, Pro, and Elite. Now, I think the way that Eric talked about it, he said that the Elite was the middle tier and the Pro is the top tier. The first one we looked at was Pro. And this one, well, that makes sense because this one also has Mizuno Energy XP smooth speed plate. I don't know what the difference is between this one and the other one. One is meant for racing, has a racing insole, and one does not. So the Pure maybe has less of a plate in it. It seems shorter and wider. This one is a little bit more narrow in the footprint, not in the last. But it seems longer in the last in the Elite. So 3 different shoes. That's a lot. Are we yeah, Custom Pilot Omega says, please be under 200 grams. I think it is very, very light. Daniel Burton says, are they racing shoes? Can you tell us that? I think 2 of them are, because 2 of them say racing in the inside. All I know is their actual name. I do know their stack heights. We have the stack heights. Yeah, Drew says we have the stack heights. Drew, I'm seeing videos of you in, are you in Taiwan? Are you still in Taiwan? Or are you back home? Matt says the Pure is around 137 grams. Well, let's put them on the scale and see. Who says that the Prototype Pro 1000? I feel like there should be a shoe called the Embargo Pro or Embargo Pro, Embargo Elite. That'd be kind of funny. All right. All right, I guess we got to do some typing here. We got these ready this way. Okay. My goodness, so many shoes. All right, so we got 3 Mizuno shoes. Prototype Pure, Prototype Elite, and then Prototype Pro. They are, like Drew mentioned, they are different stack heights. And they all seem to have the same name of foam, but they seem to be different in the Pro versus the Pure and the Elite. That's not confusing at all. All right, let's get them on the scale. Let's do the Pure first. I'm zeroed out on my scale. Oh, this is super light, guys. Second weight just to make sure. All right, I got a different weight, so let's try them again. And again. All right, I'm pretty comfortable with that. This is crazy light, guys. So the Prototype Pure is 4.9 ounces and 140 grams. Doesn't even make sense. This is the Prototype Elite. Gets much heavier. But, I mean, relatively speaking. This one's 5.9 grams and 5.9 ounces and 166 grams. And then let's get to the Prototype Pure. Still crazy light, guys. Although this one's starting to get like normal. 6.9 ounces and 196 grams. I feel like these days, anything under 200, I feel like I would consider to be very, very light. So those are those shoes. There's a very strong chemical smell here. Not like Saucony shoes bad, but man, it's strong. It's the kind like if you take too deep of a sniff, it gets stuck in your nose. You got to blow it out. Yeah. Drew says Embargo Elite would be a fire name. Right? I feel like it's a good shoe name. Yeah. Stevie76 said that smell is asbestos. It smells kind of like it smells like normal just rubber plastic, like a shoe, and then at the end, it's almost like a mustardy smell to it, like the vinegar mustard, horseradishy kind of spicy. Not spicy like Tabasco spicy, but spicy like a peppery. It's just something about it at the end. It's mustard is what I smell like. It's in here. But yeah, excited to try these shoes out. I think it's funny that like in the email they were like, we're bucking the trend of super tall stack height shoes, and I'm thinking to myself, aren't you the guys that made this thing? You guys are the ones that made this thing, right? So it's just, I mean, like they're like, just why don't you tell me what kind of shoes you want me to make? Maybe this is where they're at. But interested to see the new materials that they're using. I was very excited with the Neo Zen and the Neo Vista and the way that those foams developed. So it seems like they're willing to experiment beyond like the kind of shoes that they've normally been making. So yeah, Runner Will's says I'm gonna need coffee grounds to get the smell out of my nose. Maybe. I kind of feel like it's still in there right now. All right, let's get to some of these other packages. Now this one I debated maybe doing like a special video for because it's so big, and I've seen other people unbox it, so I know what's in here. But that would have required me to do a lot of more work, and I don't have time for that right now. And I like to unbox things with you guys. So JC says, that's a really big shoe. Okay. And Daniel Burton says, who are the top Americans running New York? Okay, back on task. So for the Americans running New York, on the men's side, Hillary Bohr is making his debut at the marathon. I think that he's going to be doing, he's American, right? He's going to run really well. Bia Simbasa ran a 2:06. Ran the fastest marathon of all Americans in 2024 last year at Valencia. Is going to be running as well. I have high hopes for him. Charlie Hicks is running. Reed Fisher is running. He ran in Tokyo at the World Championship. So I asked him about it. I'm like, is this more like a fun run or what's going on here? And I guess you can't really say like, yeah, I'm just going there for vibes when you're a pro runner. But he did say like he's going to see how his body responds from Tokyo. And if there's the ability to send, he's going to send. So should be interesting to see how he's feeling. Who else is in there for the men? I know I'm forgetting someone. There's someone I'm forgetting. You guys will have to let me know. Oh, Joel Reischau's running? He ran last year, didn't he? I remember seeing his hair. Because I don't know if he's really tall, but he's always, every time I saw him, he was standing next to Dakota Popane. And so, like, the two of them stuck out. They were a fun, odd couple to kind of watch the morning of the marathon. Oh, yeah, Klecker. That's the one I'm forgetting. Klecker will be interesting. I thought like I told you guys before, I listened to the interview or the discussion on Coffee Club, and I really liked that. Was, I think, one of Coffee Club's best episodes. Maybe it's because they talked about the marathon the whole time, but I really liked that conversation. So I'm rooting for Joe. I'm not sure. I don't, it's like everyone put a lot of pressure on him for the half, and he still ran a decent half. He ran a 61. But people put so much pressure on him, so I was like, I'm not gonna put too much pressure on him, but I'm rooting for him. You know what I mean? I like that guy. I didn't know that he went to the same high school as Reed Fisher. All right. So in this bag is a suitcase. There are rollers for this, but it doesn't come with them on. Which I kind of like that you could take the rollers off. I don't know why I like that, but I do. But look. Puma Saysky luggage. And that's it. There's nothing inside. It's just a luggage. Just kidding. Let's open this guy up and see what's inside here. I haven't had a package from Saysky since the blue aqua suit that they sent over. You guys remember that? And I think that they saw that, and I don't think that they liked that I thought it was a super fun outfit. All right. There's a lot in here. All right. Hey, fam, you're the first to get your hands on the Puma Saysky Part 2. Everything you need for a race weekend. Travel gear, shakeout runs with friends, and race day looks. We can't wait to see how you show it off when you post. Tag Puma Running and Saysky CPH with hashtag Puma X Saysky and go live when the embargo lifts October 10th. Woo! Lucky. Collection launches globally October 24th. So this stuff is available now. Guys, there's a lot of stuff in here. All right. Let's see. Yeah, JC says the water suit. Yeah, the water suit. I don't think they like that when I wear it all at once. Yeah, all right. Daniel says, more importantly, Bekele versus Kipchoge. I'm going to go with Kipchoge on this one. Because I'm going to vote with my heart on that. I feel like Bekele is probably in better fitness. Maybe he's aging better, but I'd rather see Kipchoge win. Russell Ortolano says, my girlfriend was looking at your gear on Strava and asked, what is the brand Not a Shoe? LOL. Then I realized you meant not a shoe. What is going on under that? Yeah, so the Not a Shoe is a lot of times like I don't know how to turn off a default shoe for my Strava posts. So like for a while, like everything was getting added under like a Nova Blast. And so like my Nova Blast had like 600 miles on it if I didn't go back and remember to switch the shoe for that run. And so in the meantime, I just created a fake shoe called Not a Shoe and made that the default shoe. And then sometimes I'll leave a shoe as a run as Not a Shoe on there. If it's an embargo shoe. And then once the embargo lifts, I'll go back and then recategorize those runs as the correct shoe. Or sometimes it's a shoe that I know I don't want to like make an entry for, or like I've already retired the shoe on Strava. So like the other day I put in some extra miles on my original Prime X, the not strong version. And rather than like unretire it so I could go add 3 miles to its life, I just left it under Not a Shoe. So that's kind of how I use that. All right, let's see. So we'll go through this like kind of fast, but I don't want to give it short shrift. But you'll see all this stuff as I'm running in the fall. So we got full length tights with pockets. It's Puma's warm cell technology, so it doesn't seem very thick, but it does have a nice hip pocket on each side, and it's kind of like micro fleecy on the inside. Very, very thin micro fleece. No back pocket, but you got a big deep pocket on each side. And then I love this color. I don't know what color this is, guys. This shirt is amazing. So Forever Stars, Puma Saysky, and is this green? And then star and a kitty cat. I guess it's a Puma on the back, but I like that a lot. This one's really fun. And this is a really nice sweatshirt. It's even got a chest zipper for a chest pocket. You know what I learned when I was with Solomon? All of their chest pockets are actually intended to be pockets for making a jacket packable. I don't think that's the case here, but something I learned. But I like this material. It's kind of like almost like quilted, it feels like. Can you see that on here? It's not focusing. There we go. But it's kind of quilted, so it's a medium weight, not super thick. You could see it much better on the bottom, on the inside. See that? That's going to be really nice. I think it's not super thick, but you're going to be able to wear it deep into the winter. This piece is gorgeous. It's a long jacket. It's heavy, and it's got patches on it. This is, yeah, I'm going to wear this all winter long. This is amazing. It's got the Saysky Puma in like blue on blue. Oh, they're Velcro patches. You could take them on and off. I like that. You guys know I'm always cold, and I love a big, long jacket. My wife has this thing. It's very popular with all the moms. It is a long puffer coat vest. Makes no sense, but she's been wearing... Oh, look at the inside. She's been wearing it to all like the soccer games and stuff, and it's perfect. Yeah, this jacket's nice. I like it. Ah, yeah. Okay. But it says, so it's another blue suit. Mark wants to know, did it come with a short skirt? No. And a long jacket. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. Daniel Britton says it looks really warm. It is. I could feel it. I mean, I'm wearing a sweatshirt already, but it's toasty in here. It's got one interior pocket. I feel like it needs maybe some more interior pockets for like mitten storage, you know. There are side pockets though, so there are places to put your mittens when you need to take them off. But yeah, oh, look at this on the side. World Running and Endeavor Team. This jacket's dope. I love this jacket. That's great. All right. Andrew Scott says, I don't like running with my phone. Do you have any easy camera, Rex? I mean, I think the iPhone is probably the most versatile and lightest phone camera that you can carry, unfortunately. And I'd say, like, if you get like a spy belt, you can put it on there. If you're running fast, though, it's going to bounce around a lot. For me, anything above like very easy pace, and the thing starts bouncing, and it's annoying. A flip belt works a little bit better than a spy belt does, especially when you're trying to run fast. But other than that, like the camera that I bring around with me is a DJI or an action camera on a selfie stick. That's what I normally use. Brian says, I should wear the New York City or Berlin poncho at soccer games. I should. Well, here's the thing. Like, it's not the same sport, you know. I mean, maybe I'll bring it to a track meet in the spring. Maybe I'll do that. You know. All right, let's see. There's a whole other side to the suitcase. And on the other side, there's the wheels. And then there's this thing, which I also love. Oh, look at the stitching on the back. It's like a hoodie / half zip. And the material, it's like, it's similar but lighter than what's in that jacket that I just put on. It does have cuffed sleeves, and then on the back it says Puma and Saysky, and that's reflective. And the stuff on the back is stretchy material, and then the stuff that's on the shoulders and arms and on the front is like it's not exactly like a down, but it's that in that vein. I don't have the right vocabulary to explain what this stuff is, but this will also get a lot of use. This is nice. I like this one. Yeah. Mark says, my high school would borrow the swim team's huge poncho-like things for staying warm at the state meet. Why don't they sell more of those? Like the things that football players wear in the winter, that thing that they put on over all their pads and stuff, I would buy that. I would wear that. Do they sell those to like regular people? I don't want one that says Bears on it though, you know? But can I just have like, I mean, I guess I just got one. It's a running one. I mean, that's it. But I would just love giant. I just want to walk around in a sleeping bag. Yeah, Shannon says Co is so excited to not be cold right now. I mean, as much as I complain about hot, I also can't handle cold. You know what I mean? So like, I need to be warm. Andrew says those things are on Amazon. I was just looking at those last week. All right, I'm gonna have to maybe find some of the big ones, or maybe I'll get a swim one because those are like fur lined a lot of time, right? Or a fake fur. I don't want real fur, but like the fake fur lined. That's what I want to see on like a workout Wednesday, Flow Track, or Track All Access. I want to see pros rolling up, not with their like roll recovery, like hexagon or octagon roll, like stretching mat, not those. I want to see them roll up to the long run in a big old coat and be like, all right, you guys ready? Whoosh. You take it off like a cape, like just fling it off and then you're off running. That's what I want to see. All right. Last thing that's in here. Look at this bag. It's a nice bag. It's a very thick bag though. It's not like a normal track bag. It's like almost like canvas on the outside. And then, ooh, these are nice. Look at this. Puma Saysky. And then look at these colors. The colors are really nice. Is this the same color as this? It is, right? Is it the same color as the t-shirt? They do like using the same color over and over. I'm going to try really hard not to wear this, and the t-shirt at the same time. But yeah, so this is nice. Let me get the right shoe, the right foot shoe out, and then we can add this too. Little sticker inside here. Yeah. All right. But this is a nice version of the Magnify. It makes it look so much prettier than the regular Magnify. The regular Magnify wasn't gross, but like this is really pretty. This just looks so nice. Let's get on the scales. Yeah, Frank says it's split pea soup. Yeah, I think it's kind of like a greenish, almost a little bit of brown to me. If I look at it fast, I see brown. But when I look at it close, I'm seeing green. So, all right, let's add this one to the board. We've got Puma, Magnify, Nitro 3, Saysky. And make sure it's a size 9. Yeah, it always freaks me out when I look on the inside of shoes. The first number a lot of times is UK size, and that's always off for me. So this is 9.1 ounces and 260 grams. Oh, we should weigh the other one. Oh boy, I got a different weight. Hold on. Spoke too soon. All right. Getting 258 most of the time and then 260 every once in a while. All right, we're going to say it's 259. But 9.1 either way. And then on the left side, it is different. Yeah, on the left side, it's 9.0 ounces and 256 grams. So a couple of grams different between left and right here. Although, wait, there's a sticker. But this sticker would make it even lighter if I removed it. But yeah, there's going to be some variation. I believe that. But yeah, all right. These are very pretty. Okay. All right. It's already 2 o'clock, but I do have another pair of shoes, but I think we could save that for next time because I feel like we've already gone through so much. I don't normally like to spend the whole time unboxing stuff, so I apologize for that. But we had a lot to get through today. All right, let's sort the data real quick, and then I will head out of here. Okay, so the Prototype Pure is the same, just about the same weight as an Evo 2. And then the Prototype Elite, lighter than a Vaporfly, about the same size weight as a Vaporfly. So very, very light. And then Prototype Pro, which I think is like I don't know what kind of shoe it is. Yeah, very, very light. Same weight as a Hyperion 2, lighter than a TV8 Nitro Elite, or just about the same weight. So even the Pro is still very, very light. And then the Magnify Nitro 3 with Saysky is 9.1 ounces. Where's the regular Magnify? Oh, it's a lot lighter. The Magnify Nitro 3 was 9.4, and this is 9.1. Why is this one so much lighter? This is a Magnify, right? I mean, I'm guessing on the tongue. It doesn't say on it anywhere. But yeah, I mean, based on the stretchiness of the upper, this folded over tongue, the way that the back is back here, it's lighter and prettier. So well done. I really enjoyed the first Puma Saysky collab. I never got any of it, as I just admired it from afar. But this stuff, especially the jackets, I'm so cold. I'm already so cold. I don't know why I'm already so cold. Anyway, I'm very impressed with what they sent so far. Santiago says the Velocity Nitro 4 is on sale in Mexico for $14.50 Mexican or $79 USD. That's crazy cheap. What's going on there? Does anyone know what's going on with Puma? I heard that they had some layoffs, but I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, that's a good price for the Velocity Nitro 4. I was just thinking about that today. I was like, I need to put more miles in that. I've been focusing on the Rebel 5, trying to get miles in that one. I'm about 70 miles into that shoe now. And I think once I finish that one, or maybe I'll start introducing the Velocity Nitro 4 in there. Although now I got to run in this Prototype Pure, Prototype Pro. I don't know if that's even a race daily trainer shoe. I don't think it is. I don't know. There's lots to run in. So fortunately, I still have a marathon to get ready for. So I got a lot of miles coming up. All right. That's going to be it for today, guys. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Let's see. I'll see. Oh, anyone that's running New York City Marathon, good luck to you guys. Make sure you're carb loading. Eat a lot of pizza and bagels for me, since I'm not in New York this year. I'm really bummed about it. Oh, we didn't talk about women. American women. I mean, I think the big story is that it's like a story of returns, right? So Molly Seidel's coming back for a marathon. I don't think that she's really trying to go out there and be top American or anything, but she's going to be out there, which we haven't seen her in the roads in a marathon in a long time. Then we have Fiona O'Keefe running her first marathon since Paris, and also Emily Sisson running her first marathon since Paris. I think the women are really deep, or like there's a lot more interest on the American women's side, I think. A lot going on there. Annie Frisbee always does well in New York, and I mean, I think she's ready for another big one. She ran well in Boston, and so hopefully she can follow up on that with another big one. And then Susanna Sullivan's coming back from Tokyo as well. So Susanna and Reed are doing the double. And I know it was the end of the episode today, so I'm kind of trying to rush off. But yeah, there's going to be a lot to watch for. Hopefully, we actually get a chance to see it. At the front end of the women's side, I think it's a 3-woman race. At least as far as I'm concerned, I know there's 1 or 2 other women that will probably end up on the podium that are not these 3 women, but like I think between these 3, we're going to see first and at least second, maybe first and third. So you've got Sifan Hassan, who ran the Hilly Paris course and won gold there. And then you've got Sharon Lokedi and Helen Obiri, who love racing against each other and love racing in both Boston and New York. Should be a good Should be a good day. So I'm super excited to watch the race. I'm very bummed that I'm not going to be able to be out there on the course to see it in person. So for all of you guys who are there, enjoy, have the best time, be safe out there, and have a great race. All right. I will see you guys on Monday. Thanks, guys.